In this video, I will talk about my experience as being a student on the OMSCS program. I will end this video by kind of talk about how this program has impacted my life as being a student in this program for the past 5 years. I have to start this video by telling you getting a master's degree might not be the best thing if your goal is only to advance your career as a software engineer. Many people have advanced far in their career without having an advanced degree in computer science. So if your goal is to enroll in a master's program, thinking that by completing the program, you're immediately going to be getting a promotion at work, then I think you might need to start and reevaluate the reason why you're getting your master's degree. It's hard to know why other people have gotten the award of getting the master's degree, but I can personally highlight the reason why I have gotten my master's degree. This is just my own opinion and my own experience, which might not be the same for you. So that's why you have to evaluate for yourself what works for you. The reason I enrolled personally was because I was stuck in a job that I did not like. And at that time, the company was the company doing my immigration paper. So in a way, it was really hard for me to leave that job because all of my immigration document was made by this company. I had to suck it up. So to give you a deeper perspective, after I finished my undergraduate degree, I got a job at a company that promised me one of the benefits is for them to apply for my green card. Usually the green card application process takes multiple years. It's not something that happens very fast. At least you need 3 years in the company. But the thing about the position that I took, well, at that time I was straight out of college, so there was a lot of things that I did not know. The thing about the position that I took, it was not a pure software engineering position. It was a position where half of my time was going to be spent about production-related issues, and another half of my time was going to be spent writing code, which is really good, right? Because I was straight out of college, maybe after my first job, after my first internship, and that was a good deal. I get to learn more about how production systems work, and at the same time, I get to experience how to write good software. However, after being in that job for about 8 to 9 months, I could realize that I spent most of my time dealing with production issues, and less of my time was dealing in writing computer code. Remember, again, I was at the beginning of my career, so at that time I didn't know better. So by that time, I realized in what situation that I was in, my green card application has already got in. So I was only left with the choice of staying in that job so that I can use that job for my green card application or switch job. Green card is really important, so you get the choice that I took. So I still had to kind of find a way for myself to continue coding. And that's where the OMSCS program came into the picture. Because my goal was, while I was working at that time it was a production engineer or SRE and things like that, I still needed to kind of like build again the foundation of computer programming, which it's really hard to do in isolation. So by enrolling at that time, my mission was to keep my programming skill enough so that when it's ready for me to move on, I can easily jump to another job. So you see, when you're an international student in the United States and you don't have a green card, a lot of things get extremely hard. For example, if you need to get a car loan, it's going to be very hard. If you want to get a mortgage, it's going to be very hard for you to apply for a mortgage. So that's why the green card was really important, and getting a job that is willing to give me the green card was way more important than my salary at that time. Another thing that pushed me really hard to apply for the OMSCS program was after my green card application was done with the application, I started to test the water with other internal software engineering job to see, how I compare. So what have happened is by that time, at my current job, I was always at a senior level, and it was extremely difficult for me to find another senior software engineering job where I would spend most of my time writing code, when in reality, I have not been coding consistently for the number of years of experience that is required for those jobs. So every time I would go to any interview, I would not pass the internal interview. So I had to make the sacrifice of, let's kind of like build up the skill needed so that when I apply internally to transfer to a new team where development was the most important thing, it would have make it easier for me. As I started the OSMCS, even though my undergraduate degree was in computer science, it was still very difficult for me because I had so much catch up to do. My programming skill was not as sharp as they used to be when I used to be in college. So the first few semesters I struggled really hard to a point where sometimes I had to drop some classes because I was not doing well in it. However, by the time I took my third class and fourth class, it was very easy for me to get my skill back to a point where by that time I was able to switch job internally, where I was leaving my current position as a reliability engineer and I would join an infrastructure engineering job, where in that team I got the opportunity to write computer code in Golang, which was really good and which really fit more with what I like to do, right? So by that time, I was like in my sixth or seventh class. I used the master's program to keep my programming skill sharp. And with the things that I've learned, I was able to clear an internal interview where I get to switch position, where most of my time now is writing Golang code, which I really love. I stayed in that job for about 2 years before I switched job for a different reason. But then I got to a point where is it worth it for me to continue with the master's degree program when I actually accomplished what I needed, which was switching from a non-development role into a more development-focused position. What I've found that staying in the program has allowed me to do was to actually develop my communication skill beyond a level that I would have developed on my own. I think the things now I'm getting more in the program, which is not switching job, but more in terms of how do I communicate complex idea to other engineers so that they can also understand it, right? Because if you think about it, in my current major is computing system. In this, I get to touch different courses. For example, computer networking, network security, distributed system, data structure, and algorithm. So these courses, what this have done for me was giving me the language that I need if I have to talk to someone from a different team that has more experience in that field. I can easily communicate with them. For example, if I'm building something and I need the network to behave a certain way, or if I need to talk to a network engineer in terms of this is how this is how the protocol should behave, my vocabulary is way more advanced where I can speak the language, even though I may not have the same amount of experience to execute it at their speed, but at least I have that communication that is needed for me to do my day-to-day job. For now, I have about 2 classes to finish the program. I think the best thing I got out of it was the ease at which I can switch job, because now it's very easy for me to switch job, and also my ability to communicate technical things at a higher level, and also my ability to clarify my thoughts and easily communicate with other engineers without them having an issue to understand what I have to say. Also, with the program, you have to do tough assignment. You also have to communicate with other students when you're working in team projects that are on different part of the globe, where every team member is very smart. So that means they know how to get things done. However, passing that communication barrier where you have people in different team where you have to synchronize with communication and make sure everyone is on the same page, this is a hard skill to learn, and you get to practice this during the program. I hope this video kind of give you an understanding why I made my choice, and also if you were to go ahead and get enrolled in the program, you would also kind of compare my choice with your choice and see you know, and kind of understand why someone might get into the program and do it and why other people don't. For example, if you're someone who doesn't have issue communicating technical things, I think you're better off than most people. Like as engineer, communication is becoming way and way more important than your ability to write code as you progress in your career. And if you're becoming an architect, you need to be able to communicate, right? Even if you're becoming a manager, you still need to be able to way better. It's a different communication style because it's not the same, it's more people style. But at the same time, developing that communication skill would really help you progress in your career. I hope this video was insightful and that you gained something out of it. I wish you to have a very good day and see you next time for the next video. Thank you.